People always ask me like, okay, what do you do for a living? And my response is literally, I'm an entrepreneur in the food media space, right? So I thrive on building ecosystems that make people feel comfortable around food, and I monetize each level of those particular ecosystems, right? So I don't look at myself and go, I'm in the food service industry. I look at myself as a social media influencer who's built an ecosystem and has monetized that ecosystem, right? Because without this idea of a brand, without this idea of an ecosystem, Darius Cooks does not exist. So all of the energy and effort that I put in,
look at somebody else's page, get inspired. Don't, and get your ideas. I'm not even gonna say don't copy, because that's why we're here. We're here to inspire you, to make you want to take what we did and make it better, right? That's what we're here for. So at the end of the day, continue to get inspired by other people. Always put out content, great content. Social media is huge. I got my first NBC pilot because the producer watched my Instagram all the time. They watch my Instagram, they see my food, and they just decided like, damn, we really want you to be on this NBC television show. Because you looked at my Instagram, because I was consistent, because the color looks great. Stop putting up these fucking pictures of this food where the camera is fuzzy, it's moving. Be intentional. You know what I'm saying? Be intentional. If you're gonna do it, do it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not judging. But if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do a video, let it be crisp, let it be clean. Let
I want to walk into it. I can cook what I want to cook. I don't really have a budget for food. I can cook what I want, how I want. The people that I'm working with, they love me, and I'm making good money, and my name is out there a little bit, And man, I just look at it and I'm like, damn, I have finally won the damn lottery. You know what I mean? And wow. And just like you put that dollar and you pay that.
You have a rate, and then there's your food costs, and then also within those food costs, you need to put your rate, and you need to put the rate for your team, because that's prep work. But this isn't taught. And how I learned was I worked for a caterer who was ran by somebody who did not look like me, and my friend was the one who put me on because she was a receptionist. She was like, "Let me show you our invoices. Let me show you how we do it." I was like, "Oh, that's why I'm broke." Great, thank you. But it's not taught. And also there just has to be a mind. I understand. You have to understand where you're coming from. We have been struggling, and that's generally how it is, because the financing isn't there. And so you do what you can. But as soon as the mindset shifts, and we at least have a few people who are on board, like, no, I'm not going to do that, then it will shift. But, you still have people want to eat. People need to eat. And people, for one, they don't know. Two, when they do know how to do better, then they will do better, But they don't know right now. People are struggling. And as you said, that people, a lot of people don't have those mentors. They either don't have the mentors they reached out.
Hey everybody, how you doing? It's me, your boy Chef Jacoby Ponder. I want to talk to you real quick about Chefprenur Academy and some of the things that inspired me to get this thing rolling. So the first thing I noticed, there was definitely a need in the culinary market to educate and also motivate at the same time. So that's kind of how it came about. The second thing was I wanted to teach people about the power of you. What is inside of you, the internal mechanism to get you motivated, to get you started with your day. And then lastly was teaching chefs on how to monetize on being a chef and not just out here hustling.
When you guys go back to the ship, it's going to look very different at chow time, but that's all right, because you take these skills that you learned here, you apply them back on the ship, and you continue to make the best chow you can for your shipmates. All right. Learning is one of those doesn't have a destination. It's a continuing journey. This is one more tool for your tool bag to put in. Take them back to the ship, all right, and show your shipmates, both the CSs and everybody else around there, what you've learned, what you're capable of, all right? And it's all a matter of the effort that you want to put into it, whether that's cooking on the ship or working on a degree elsewhere or going out in town and being the best family member, husband, wife, brother, sister you can be, all right? Just take everything you've learned and apply it. Application is critical. And you guys will be showing us, the application of your skills here. Bring it back and show us on the ship as well. But thanks especially to Chef here for taking the time to teach you guys, offer the class. Steph, you and your team, your efforts obviously do not go unnoticed. We got 97% of the CSs through the class, which is amazing. All right, so you guys can all compete against each other and poke each other if you see somebody slipping. All right, so stay on top of each other, work with each other, all right, and have fun on the ship, just like I'm sure you had fun here. Thanks.
What up? We're back from the episode of Chefprenur Academy, and we're gonna do it how we do it. We'll have fun tonight, this evening. Got some incredible talent about to join us. I'm gonna get my sound right. There we go. Got some incredible talent joining us today. Chef Jay, man, real kitchen boss, kitchen diva, doing her thing. Keep your eye on her. Keep your eye on this chef right here. When I tell you, fast track, doing her thing, man. And she's all over the place, everywhere. I mean, in the back, I mean, she's like literally everywhere. News stations, she's really taken over the DMV area. Quiet as kept, you know what I'm saying? I had a chance to meet her through a program initiative I'm helping out, Magnolia University. Shouts out to Magnolia University, the team over at Flavors. Shout out to y'all as well. I met this young lady through that program, doing phenomenal stuff, man. I mean, like top tier caterer, really enjoys what she does, and I can tell she enjoys it too, just based on the fact of her setup. And we'll check out her website here in a minute. But phenomenal work. Hopefully one day I'm fortunate to work with her. She does great work, man. And I saw on, I think it was Instagram, that she's now in the, like doing like her film debut, like filming her stuff in the kitchen. I'm like, oh boy, she belongs on TV. You can just tell. Like she belongs on TV. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Chef Jay to the stage. Chef Jay, what's going on? Hit your mic for me. Unmute your mic for me real quick.
All right. Hey, how y'all doing?
Peace. What's going on with you?
Nothing much. We're live. Happy to be here.
We live, baby. I know. So what's up? Where you at? What part of the world you in? You be all over the place. Where you at?
Right now I'm at home. My home is Glenard in Maryland. I'm outside because it's been such a nice day today out here in my garden in the backyard, and this is where you can find me when I'm not working.
Got your garden popping. I don't know too many chefs personally. I don't even have a garden. That's cool.
It's a really relaxing thing. It brings you a lot of joy and peace to see something grow from a seed and see it grow all the way through. It just brings you a lot of joy.
Now, are you from that area, from DMV originally?
I was born in Washington, D.C., and I was raised in Northern Virginia for a certain period of time with my grandparents and my dad. And then when my grandparents decided to retire, we relocated down to a very, very small town. You'll miss it if you blink too hard. It's called Kenansville, North Carolina, Duplin County, where they're known for their wine and their Mount Olive pickles.
You said Kenansville?
Yep, Kenansville, North Carolina. I was raised there for a period of time, and I didn't move back until I got in high school. So I've had the best of both worlds between being a city girl and growing up in the South.
Wait a minute.
And it's a blessing.
Wait a minute. Do we mean city girl or city girl?
No, not one of those.
Okay.
City girl with Southern roots.
Okay. I got you. So, and we're just gonna dive right into it, waste no time at all. Did you get your cooking accolades and your cooking cues from being around your grandparents or being in an environment? What elements did that help you cultivate as a chef? Like, how did it help you as a chef?
I am a self-taught chef. I learned everything I know from my family, my grandmother, my dad, my aunts, my uncles. When I say everyone in my family cooks, we throw down. And so it was a blessing to be in the kitchen. My grandparents have now passed, but it was a blessing to grow up under their thumb and really learn the skill of being a chef and just learning how to cook, period. Because I want to always pay respect to those that have gone to formal training and education and culinary school. But I'm confident in my skills that I can go toe to toe with anybody.
Oh, your food looks amazing. It ain't there. There's no doubt there at all. Like your food looks off the chain.
Thank you.
Now, is there anything for a cookbook in the work? Am I speaking out of turn?
Yes. The cookbook is in the works. I started on it last month. So when I'm not doing events, I am shooting content and taking professional photos of my content because I also dabble in food photography. Because I taught myself how to use a DSLR camera.
You just do it all.
I'm shooting, all my pictures, and I'm working on my cookbook. It's coming hopefully early next year.
Now, how hard is it to do a cookbook?
It's very hard. And, and like, it sounds nice to say, like, oh, I'm working on a cookbook, but it's a lot of work.
And look, I asked that question jokingly because I've been trying to do a cookbook for the past 4 years. And it's like, why is it so hard? Like, why is it so difficult? You know what I'm saying? You got other chefs putting out 3 or 4 volumes at a time. Like, why is it so hard?
It's hard.
And I don't want to speak out of turn. Is it that you want it to be your best body of work and you're afraid of judgment? Like, what's the holdback?
Well, if you're going to do a cookbook, you got to make sure that you have the proper supports in terms of people, your photography, your wording, and someone to go over it and edit it, making sure that you spelled everything correctly, the correct format. You need manpower. Like, as I'm cranking out the recipes, my production assistant, she helps me so much. She goes behind me, she washes all the dishes, she sets up all the stuff for the next shot. Like, it's a process to do a cookbook. And then we're writing the recipe down. She's writing as I'm cooking because I'll cook something and then forget what I did. So she has to also transcribe it as I'm going along. And so it's a process to do a cookbook.
So now let me ask you this question. How do you feel about ChatGPT?
Oh, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. It helps me a lot, write captions. And if I don't feel like writing a long caption to describe what I'm doing for Instagram, I'll type it in ChatGPT and it'll spit it out what I needed to say, and I'll tweak it a little bit. But if you do not learn AI, if you do not learn ChatGPT, you are going to be left behind, okay? Man,
I'm trying to tell you. And listen, one of the reasons that I asked that question is because it also helps you write recipes. Mm-hmm. And it also helps you write grocery lists and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of chefs should be tapping in on utilizing this AI technology. And not just ChatGPT. There's other outlets. Like, I'm a big fan of Canva.
I love Canva.
Fiverr. because a lot of chefs feel like they don't have time to do a lot of things, whatever the case is. You can go to Fiverr and lease out everything you can do. Hell, you can go to Fiverr, really, y'all. You can go to Fiverr and get your cookbook done through Fiverr. Never heard of Fiverr? It's Fiverr, I think it is. And what it is a community of people that does all kinds of stuff. They do websites, they do flyers, they do books, they do editorials, they do sales pitches, anything you need. It's different variations, different tiers. Of course, it's at cost. But utilize those outlets, man. Don't stress. This is me talking for me. Don't stress yourself out about it, because the cookbook situation was like, you know what? I want to do a cookbook, but everything you just said, I've been stressing over the whole time. Everything you just said.
I completely understand.
Being right, then the recipes, what I want to do. I get a mind flow of the recipes I want to do and how I want to do it. And then somebody told me, there's like, you can do more than one book, right? Like, this ain't your last book. So if you don't get it on the head this time, just publish 2 or 3 more books till you get it right. Like, damn, think about that. Then it's the self-publishing. Then it's the ISBN thing you got to get off of Amazon. It's a lot. So you definitely need a team.
Definitely. And you just got to start building your supports. Like, you got to gather people who have an interest in photography, editing, writing, friends. They can even be friends and say, look, I need you to do this while I cook so that we can knock this cookbook out. So just building your support. And if you want to shoot the photos yourself, you can, but I don't advise it if you don't know a lot about food photography, because you have to know about lighting and staging food and all of that.
It's a lot to go into it. It's like going into it. So when can we expect that book dropping? This summer, this fall, end of the year?
I'm hoping by early next year, like January, February sometime. That's what I'm hoping. Even if it's only a good 15 solid recipes, I got to have something to get to the people because they've been asking for it.
I know that's right. Now, what we're watching right now, this is Fox 5. What's her name? Starts with
Fox 5 with Marissa and Aaron Como.
Como. Yeah, Como. Wow. And what did you prepare right here? What was this for?
So that was my Fox 5, I guess, debut. And I went there to talk about my company and the services that I provide in the DMV area as private chef and catering and cooking demos. So I did one of my recipes. We prepared the mussels and shrimp dish with a habanero cream sauce over rice. I also prepared my famous mojito fruit salad. A lot of the herbs and things that I use in my recipes come straight from this garden back here. So I was happy to debut some of my recipes. I also made an alcoholic beverage. And yeah, it was, and I made some short rib bruschetta as well.
Good God Almighty.
They told us.
God Almighty. How long have you been cooking?
I've been cooking since I was 8 years old.
Okay. All right. Now listen, I heard chefs who have a real big problem with people saying that. Me personally, I don't, right? But I'm everywhere. I talk to a lot of chefs. And this one chef was like, why people always say cooking since they was 5 and 6 years old and they knew they couldn't cook. I'm like, bro, some people was really in the kitchen throwing down with their parents. See, a lot of people don't have that same upbringing. And I'm going to go on and say it. In most Black households, not all, majority Black households, you'll get 1 or 2 variations of stories. It's either in the kitchen with our grandma or our mom. There's always a matriarchal situation going on, a matriarch of the family who's trying to make something. So I was telling the chef, I said, well, that's subjective, because a lot of chefs do come up in the kitchen at a very young age. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us do. Like, we have no choice. Especially if you're in a Black household and you're a young female back in 80s and 90s, you in the kitchen learning something. You know what I'm saying? So that works. That works for me.
So for me, I had a large family. It was 8 of us in that house, 8. So my parents, my dad worked all the time. My dad is a honorably discharged Navy man. And so we moved to North Carolina, and I was helping with my siblings. My stepmom, she worked a lot. My biological mom lives in Norfolk, Virginia, but I lived with my dad growing up, and my stepmom.
And that's you.
Yeah, she's basically my mom. So I was helping out, me and my sister. We were in the kitchen, washing dishes, cooking, frying chicken, cooking for everybody in the household because my parents worked a lot.
So literally, like I said, you was in the kitchen, literally at the age of 8. So,
and one of my fondest memories was my grandmother. She was making her famous bread pudding recipe, which is a family recipe, heirloom. And she tore off the label to the can and she gave it to me. She said, keep this because this is the type of fruit that we use in the bread pudding. And I just, little things like that, I always remember memories cooking with her. And I kept that label, put it in my wallet. I still have it to this day.
wow.
It's just little things like that.
Wow. So now, besides being in the kitchen at an early age, what are some other things that have kept you in the industry? Because I done ran across this week, last 48 hours, at least 4 chefs that I contacted. I've talked to in a long time, reached out to them on some assistance with getting some hiring done. And out of the 4 chefs, 3 text me and said, hey, I can find you some chefs, but I'm no longer in the industry. I'm like, damn, what happened? So what's keeping you in the industry at this point in your career?
Well, when you come from the corporate world, like I did, I was the director of social service. I was a social worker at a skilled nursing facility for almost 12 years, from my schooling, then straight to a job. And after working there for so long and working with patients, it was just physically and mentally draining, because all day as a social worker, you're dealing with someone else's trauma, someone else's problems, and that's good. But there were also a lot of politics behind it. And working in facilities like that, there was a lot of microaggressions in the workplace. So when you leave that professional environment and you're now doing something on your own, it's a relief. So cooking doesn't feel like a burden to me. I actually really love it. It's my place of peace. When you come from such a stressful environment, I ran a department of social workers, and it was a lot. It was a lot. I was under a lot of stress when I was in the corporate world. So to me, making that transition to formally now running my catering business and being a private chef, it's a breeze. But I will say, you do have to have great time management skills, and you do have to have vacation. Vacation is a necessary.
That's imperative. And judging by your Instagram, make sure everybody's watching and will watch this. Go over to her Instagram, follow her Instagram right now. Soulful Catering, SOFFULL Catering. Tell us about that name. Like why that? Because when I heard it, I also have a version of soulful spelling in my mind that I've been toying with for years. But why spell it this way?
Well, the name of my company actually came as a joke. Me and one of my best friends I had just prepared a good Sunday dinner, and we sat down on the couch and we had one of those classic Black people moments where we had to unbutton that top button on our jeans. And
Yes,
I was like, woo, girl. I said, I'm so full. And she was like, there you go. I was like, what? She was like, that's the name of your company, So Full Catering. And I said, yeah, that's great, like because that's what I hope to leave my clients, so full that they want to come back for seconds.
And from the looks of it, you ain't got no problems with clientele. And you travel?
I will travel if the price is right. If there's somebody trying to fly me out, I'll come. If the price is right, I will come. I hate flying.
Go get Chef flown out, y'all. Go get a flown out.
I'm trying to get flew out, okay? Under the right
flew out there. So were you on network?
Yes, I did season 6 of Ready to Love, where I fed the cast, and that was a great opportunity. We filmed at this big mansion in Potomac, Maryland. So it was a great experience to get a feature during one of the episodes to show me, and that's one thing that Will Packer does. He likes to highlight Black-owned companies for his productions, and I appreciate that. It was a wonderful opportunity.
Shout out to Will Packer. Okay, how was it meeting the celebrities? Let me slow down, because what I really want to know is from your starting of your company to where you are now, how long has that been? And the second question is, how many celebrities have you met on your journey from day one, leaving corporate, starting your catering company, to now? How long has that been? How many years or months have that been since you left corporate?
I officially started the company in 2015. It started as a favor to one of my line sisters. Shout out to all the AKAs,
AKA?
Yes. So it started as a favor to one of my line sisters. She was getting married and she didn't have anybody to do the food. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I did it, and it came out so great.
And you killed it.
And so from that point on, I started doing catering every weekend as I was working full time as a social worker. So I was going to work, working a 9 to 5, dealing with people and their trauma all day. And then on the weekends, I was doing catering events. So
the catering was kind of your therapy.
Yeah. And so I finally, after the pandemic in 2021, I finally quit my full-time job and did catering because I had my clients asking me when I was going to quit my full-time job.
Damn. Now, here's a tougher question, because what I don't want to do to the young chefs, foodies, whoever is watching, I don't want to paint a picture of you just wake up one day and you want to cook, and then, you know, the money start rolling in. How was that journey? Like, tell us about the switch over from corporate America, guaranteed a check every 2 weeks, every week, however you got paid, to now it's solely dependent on bookings, and with those bookings, which may be great, at a certain point, we get tired. Like you get tired. Like it's physical. Like, I'm pretty sure your corporate job was more mentally draining, which is also tiring, right?
Yes.
But the physical part of it, and I'm pretty sure the first year it was exciting, go. It's 2024. You said 21, so by 2023, you're like, Lord, Jesus Christ. Do we start turning down gigs, or tell us about how that looked for you?
Well, I'll definitely say you do have to kind of build up a clientele before just jumping out there. You cannot just quit your full-time job and be like, all right, I'm going to be a chef now. You cannot do that. You have to build up that clientele. And so when you finally make your announcement and they know you're doing this full-time, you will be able to have that steady income and clients coming in. So I had to do that first before I jumped out there. And God has been good. I've been blessed with a steady flow of clientele. It's all about how you market yourself as a food-based business. You have to be out there and you have to be active on social media, word of mouth, your website. You have to take every opportunity to market your business. You are a walking advertisement, and that's what I tell people. And when you get overwhelmed, I'm now creating a funnel system of other chefs under me and mentoring them so that if I can't take a job or Chef Jay is tired, I'm going to pass it along to them.
Nice.
It's enough money out here for all of us to eat. I'm not greedy.
Now, I had that conversation last week about these chef gatekeepers, I guess we'll call them. And at some point, I'm going to identify who they are. Not wanting to share information or not wanting to collaborate and work together, which is fine. It's a prerogative. Me, myself, I'm a collaborative chef. I love working with chefs. There's some things that I've tried to put together on my own, out of my own pocket, didn't really quite go through how I wanted to go through. There've been some things I put together in the past people don't even know about that I was a part of. But I'm always key for bringing chefs together in some type of form or way. And I'm able to see certain talents in certain people. And I think one of my downfalls is I want people to be successful more than they want to be successful sometimes. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. I kind of lead with that, you know what I mean? And it's honest and it's real, but sometimes working with other chefs, they don't have the best intentions in mind for you. So be mindful of that. Go ahead.
I will say this. I think my education, my professional schooling, laid the foundation. I think for you, your military career laid the foundation. So when we speak to people and when we communicate with clients, there's a certain professional demeanor that we carry because we've had that formal training or teaching, or we built those skills. Some of these people do not have table side manner.
Right.
And we used to say that a lot in the healthcare industry when I was a social worker, that nurses and doctors don't have bedside manner. So I've transferred it over to the culinary world. People do not have table side manner. You need to know how to professionally address clients and communicate with them. And I think that's one of the things that has helped me coming from a professional setting.
Thank you. And it's a great segue to talk about a chefpreneur. And that's what I want to be. That's what I am, and I think that's what Chef is, and the other chefs I've talked to on the show before. They're all chefpreneurs, we're calling them, right? This is a entrepreneur. We know what entrepreneur is, somebody that ventures out on their own and kind of gets their own thing. Well, there's also a cool term for chefs now, chefpreneur. Been out for a while. My situation is Chefprenur Academy, where I teach chefs not how to cook, because by the time you come to me or reach out to me or email me or book a one-on-one, you've been cooking for a while. And at this point, you're just wondering how to get to the next level. Like, what's next? And you know yourself, the question I ask chefs is, how many chefs you know who have retired? And it's always like, oh shit, I don't know who retired. Right, because what I say, and I stand on it, this is an irretirable industry. Now, I'm not saying you can't work for a corporate entity like Sodexo or Aramark and work 23 years and retire to that. But being a chefpreneur, most chefs don't think how to set up retirement. And retirement looks different for everybody. You can keep cooking till you 75, doesn't matter. But what's your exit plan? What is your exit plan? Go ahead.
So my exit plan is I still have my formal education. I have a master's degree in social work. So I said when I'm done doing this cooking thing and catering, I can always fall back to social work if I choose. Or the ultimate goal for me is I'm trying to segue out of catering to do more, get paid by brands, to do content, to use their products to cook with, to get big, ad campaigns and paid partnerships, and be a full-time food blogger and influencer. But you can't just do that alone. You have to have something that's funding that dream. And so catering is funding that dream. I'm trying to be the next Tabitha Brown. That's how I see it in my eyes. And, going on these professional networks like Food Network and all those things, it's cool. I've been casted for some shows. I didn't go because I was an alternate, and I was not about to cancel on my clients I had here just to go out to California and be an alternate on a cooking show. So I canceled. But what I realized is you don't need that. I'm building my own brand here. Chef J and Soulful Catering is a brand by itself. And so the end goal is sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do, which right now is catering and being a private chef, to do what you want to do, which is being a full-time food blogger, influencer, getting my Tabitha Brown on. That's where I'm headed.
I know that's right. Yeah. You said that. Now, I don't think Tabitha's not a chef, is she?
But she went viral for her food content initially. Of course. And she took that one moment and capitalized on it.
Darius Cooks, he's not a chef either. But these are two people in the industry who are showing chefs the possibilities. Now, them two not being chefs, but influencers, they do a beautiful job. I had Darius on the show earlier this year.
Yeah, I saw it.
Anybody can tag Tabitha. I'm going to get Tabitha on the show too. Okay, tag
That's
her.
Right.
But great people, but what they showed me was chefs are not even tapping into half of that potential.
Nope.
And these are chefs that I know personally. So let me read this real quick. For those of y'all who don't know, I'm Chef Jacoby, Chef Ponder. I am the founder of Chefprenur Academy, which is an initiative that I started a couple of years ago to help veterans, because I'm a Navy veteran. So you see your dad, Navy veteran?
Yep.
Go Navy, right? So what I saw cooks getting out of the military and done 20 years, 15 years, 5, 10 years, and having that level of talent and skill set in the military. Now, nobody in the military is like a top chef, because that's not the type of cuisine we do. There are sectors in the industry, in the military, for that type of work. I was a flag cook, meaning I worked for the admiral and the big guys. So I had a taste of tweezering plates, stuff like that. But at large in the military is creating 5,000 dishes or 5,000 plates or 5,000 portions of potatoes and stuff like that. So the intricacy level declines a little bit because it's mass production, just production. There's other subsections in there where you can work in what's called the chief's mess or work for officers. And, you can get a little bit of talent going. But anyway, I wanted to create a program to motivate them to do more. And just like now, you're already motivated. You kind of got an idea, you got goals in mind. There are a lot of chefs that have been doing this for so long. They just like, hey man, listen, this is it. Those are the chefs I want. I want the chefs who are kind of at that apex in their career, and they're like, man, I don't know what to do next. But they feel stagnant. A lot of chefs do feel stagnant because they're like, man, I could have forgotten damn 12 years, ain't getting no further, And then not to mention, if you're not one of the chefs who have been fortunate enough to go on Food Network, that also makes you feel some kind of way. If you're not one of those chefs with like 100,000 followers or 60,000 plus followers, and your food is not going viral. This is one guy who does food, and it's just his hands and a nice camera and a dark back set. He's just doing food, and he gets 114,000 likes.
I bought one of his master classes.
See what I'm saying? See, he's already developed that to a master class, and he's not even a chef. That's what I'm saying, chefs. Like, people are all in our industry taking advantage of opportunities that we should take advantage of. So anyway, a chefpreneur is someone who has been trained and educated in the culinary field, but does not limit oneself to just cooking in the kitchen. That's the first thing about being a chefpreneur. You just can't be in the kitchen, or what we used to say in the Navy is you can't manage with your head in the pot, meaning while you're cooking, you can't manage your team with your head down as cooking. You got to pick your head up and be a boss. So a chefpreneur is a chefpreneur and a business person, always looking for ways to grow, learn, expand his or her craft and talent to meet the needs of the ever-changing demands of the marketplace. The chefpreneur is creative, inventive, hardworking. He or she is relentless, pursues more business opportunities while aligning partnerships and positively affecting the community. The mission of Chefprenur Academy is to educate, inspire, and to motivate cooks to become professional chefs, working, thriving, and expanding their gifts to reap the rewards of the strategically utilized talent. Listen, if you are one of these individuals, or at least identify as a chefpreneur, and you need some guidance, you need some more help, you need to be motivated, you need to know what to do next, I'm talking to a kitchen boss right here. Listen to what she's saying. Like she's giving up some real good game. We didn't get into the nooks and crannies yet. She's giving some real good game up. It takes a huge amount of motivation to keep going as a chef, especially after COVID, post-COVID. We're trying to regain our footing in the restaurant industries. Me, myself, I've worked in restaurants, executive chefs, sous chef, line cook. I've worked in the private sector as a private chef, food service contract, cruise ships. I've worked everywhere. I don't think there's a food facet I haven't worked in yet. Nursing homes, hospitals, everywhere. So I've seen a wider range of chefs. I've seen a wider range of cool stuff too. I've learned a lot of stuff when it comes to food costs and all those things. So these are the nooks and crannies that we have to be sharing amongst ourselves and our community. And this is the point of Chefpreneur, is the point of this platform. This platform is for you guys to hear other chefs in the industry who are also doing well, but to hear how they got there. Because she didn't just wake up and boom, had 1,000 clients and was all on TV and she wasn't, just she worked and you work your ass off.
Thank you.
I can tell.
Thank you.
I was like she is working. Like she is working. She is really working. So what are some things that up and coming chefs should be aware of or should be learning at this juncture in their career? Like, let's say I just finished culinary school and I've been in the industry for about 1.5 years. What should I be doing at this point in my career? 1.5 years in the game, what should I be doing?
I think you need to lay the foundation, because there are some things that culinary school is not going to teach them, like how to master food photography, how to manage invoicing and finance, how to manage social media content, because you have to be your own marketer for your business, and they're not going to teach you that. So unless you hire someone to do that, you have to learn all those skills as well as being an excellent chef.
Take notes. Take notes. What are some things you wish you'd have done differently in your career, if anything, so far? And if it's nothing, it's nothing, I don't
know, because I feel like I'm still going through the journey, and I'm growing and I'm learning more information as I go along. But I'm always an open book, and I'm always willing to learn. So being teachable, just being teachable.
You heard it. Become a master student. Be a master. That's what I call a master student. A master student is always learning. No matter what you don't learn, what you think you know, becoming a master student is essential in this industry. Learning things. So, unless I missed it, how many years from when you got started to now has it been? 3? 2001?
Since 2016, that's when I did my official business filing for my company. So 2016, and yeah, just till now.
Killing it, Chef.
Thank you.
You're killing it.
Thank you.
What are some of your fan favorites? Like, what do your clients demand all the time from you? Is it something famous that you're known for?
I would say definitely my mojito fruit salad. That's a favorite. Everybody always gets that.
Mojito fruit salad. Now
I would
on.
also. Mm-hmm.
Mojito fruit salad.
Mm-hmm.
Mojito. Okay. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, how you put it together? Got it.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I would also say my shrimp and grits, my collard greens.
Okay. Hold on now. Everybody got good shrimp and grits. Tell us, without telling us everything, how your shrimp and grits go down. How do you make them? Where do you start? Like, give us a starting point on your shrimp and grits. You give us everything, but just give us kind of a flyover how you make shrimp and grits, because everybody got good shrimp and grits. Everybody got them. Everybody doing it.
Had different variations of shrimp and grits and have not liked it. Like I had one time and they put corn in it. Like, what are you doing?
Okay.
So
I do that though.
No.
Because grits is literally corn. Grits is brown corn.
But not in the sauce. Not in the sauce.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Not on my palate. I didn't like it. But to each his own.
Okay, go ahead.
I ain't gonna knock you out until I try it. But yeah, so I make it with saute my shrimp, my smoked turkey, and then I make a cream sauce, a Cajun cream sauce with a little bit of heavy whipped cream, some butter, some real Parmesan cheese.
Okay, you cook it for real.
Some smoked paprika, and a little bit of chicken bouillon, just a little bit, and some other seasonings. I also put some cayenne pepper in there to give it a nice little spicy kick. And then I ladle that over a nice, bed of creamy grits.
Damn. So you cook.
Yeah. Are you hungry?
You cook. I really am. After that. So tell me about what you got going on right here with this DC. Was it a feature already? You already in, or is something coming up in DC?
So last week I was featured as a DMV doer. So it's kind of like the person that or business that they spotlight for the week. And I was featured because I'm a chef in the DMV area who is using a lot of products and herbs and produce from my garden to cook for my clients. So they thought that was an interesting spin compared to some of the other chefs, and to each its own. Everybody don't have to have the same thing that they do in their business, but that was just one of the things that they like, that I like working and collaborating with the farmer markets in the area, because I grew up down south, so I'm used to going to get it out the field. And so we want fresh produce, farm to table. Nice.
And did they find you to pick up the story, or did you kind of submit to them?
It all came from networking, and I tell people, when you're a chef, you have to go to events and talk about your business. And I went to an event that had nothing to do with the culinary world. And while I was there, I networked, ran into someone from the news station, and I just gave her my card because maybe I thought she wanted me to come and cook for her. But turns out she ended up passing my card along, and they called me to feature me for a segment. So you have to network. You have to network.
How comfortable are you on TV?
Oh, I'm very comfortable in front of the lights. I'm very comfortable. It doesn't bother me.
I'm trying to find one of your videos somewhere.
YouTube. I'm on YouTube, where I've shot a lot of my cooking content. If you go to YouTube and type in Chef J, you can see some of my cooking content there. And there will be more to come, because that's another thing that I'm trying to get up and running, is dropping consistent cooking content. It's called In the Kitchen, Chefing It Up with Chef J.
Listen, if I could give you any advice, this is some big bro advice. Stick with that. When I saw that Instagram clip, I like, oh, this is. I text you immediately. Remember, I'm like, don't do nothing else but this. Like, put your energy because you belong on TV.
Thank you. You said that from day one. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Didn't I? I'm like, you belong on TV.
Thank you.
And it ain't gotta be Food Network. It can be your own TV station.
Yeah.
And now you're doing it. And now you're doing it. So when I saw it, I'm like, yeah.
Shout out to my videographer.
I was like, yeah, she about to take off.
Yeah, thank you. And I enjoy it. I enjoy being in the kitchen, whipping up those recipes and lights, camera, action. Like, it doesn't bother me.
And I think that PBS, OWN Network, and a couple other networks are now looking for stuff like that. Yes,
Clio TV. I got some things in the works. Trying to get a publicist. I got a lot going on right now to go to the next step of what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Well, listen, take your time.
Thank you.
Take your time. It ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Do it right. And I'm pretty sure everybody's anticipating seeing you somewhere. So you have no desire to go on Food Network at all?
I will go if the opportunity presents itself, but I also at the same time want to build my own brand.
I didn't wrong with that. I didn't wrong with that at all.
Yep, because you know, Cartier Brown, I went to one of her events and I got to talk to her one-on-one, sat at the table, broke bread with her. It was a great experience. And that's one of the things that she told me. One of the, things sometimes in the industry is they own everything you do. And so I just want something that I do, that belongs to me, that no one can say they own the intellectual property to.
Now, why is it you think that, because I don't see a whole lot of chefs doing it. I'm not saying that they're not doing it. Why don't you think that most chefs do their own thing? Like, do their own events? Like, me, I drop a flyer for 5-6 events, and it's all my events. And I hardly ever see chefs putting on their own events. And I'm down in the Atlanta area. And I'm not saying it's not happening. It may be a dinner party here or there, a pop-up here or there, but I have not seen a chef conquer the market on hosting events. Like, this is all my shit.
You haven't been to my fish fry yet. You got to come to my annual fish fry. Every October or fall, I do a fish fry, and that's an event that I put on personally.
Okay.
And that is one of the things that I enjoy doing is hosting events. My next event, and I might need to collab with you, I'm doing a farm to table dinner. So we're currently looking for venues. People will purchase tickets. I have some hosts that are going to host the event, and it's going to be great. And you'll be seeing food and herbs will be straight from the garden back here. Nice.
Sponsorship is real big too. Sponsorship is real big on things like that, and that's one thing that I wish I had took advantage of, because everything I did out of my pocket. And
and that's one of those things.
There wasn't a return on it though.
yeah, but hey, I'm sure you did a fabulous job with it. And one of the things now is ChatGPT can write those letters of sponsorship for you.
Use that AI, y'all. Use the AI.
Yep.
Anybody mad at y'all for using AI?
Yep.
You use the AI technology. You know what I'm saying?
And I've done a lot of tried to get a lot of brand collaborations and content stays, at different places, and I've shot them letters of support and sponsorship to see if they will gift me a free stay somewhere to come to their place and do content in their kitchens. So that's one thing that I do. I worked with Namawell J2 Juicers. I did a brand partnership collaboration. They sent me a free $600 juicer that I still use to this day, and it's fabulous. So you just got to shoot your shot with these brands.
Damn. And do you think chefs have egos?
Oh yeah, especially in the DMV area. Everybody thinks that you out to get them. Like, was your life so much harder than everyone else's that you feel like everybody out to get you?
And I would say the same thing about Atlanta, because before I came to Atlanta, I was in VA, and I still go to VA often.
Yeah.
When I was in VA, I was in my own lane. I had my blinders on, doing my own thing. And I know that I was in Virginia Beach, and I was on the Hampton Road show.
Yep.
And I said, man, I want to go to Richmond. So I started working my way to Richmond. I just started doing things in Richmond on my own, just doing my own events, my pop-up situations. Got on to Richmond news station. I said, I want to go to DC. And this is just me making a strategic plan to collaborate, network, reach out. I didn't know anything about press releases, but I'm on Fox 5 all day emailing them stuff, whatever the case is. And I got picked up at every news station in DC. Got a chance to host Metro DC Cooking. I think it's like every other year. I ended up being the VIP host for Broccoli Fest. All that stuff, just off of just networking.
Networking, you have to.
And there's a restaurant in DC called MXDC. MXDC. It's right around the corner from the White House, I think it is. And I had an inside connection there, and I had to go meet the owner. And I put together a little presentation about Chefpreneur's restaurant takeover, brunch takeover. This is a Mexican restaurant called MXDC. I'm gonna show you in a second. And they had no idea what brunch was. And after I set up the meeting and I successfully had a chance to do it, and this is a Chef Todd English restaurant, by the way. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. But I had an opportunity to do this pop-up, and I was so nervous because I didn't have a following in DC, or so I thought. I really have a following in DC. I said, how am I pull this shit off? And just so happened, when I got selected to do the VIP tent hosting in DC, I asked the lady, the coordinator, if she could put my flyers for my brunch the following week in everybody's bag. And I printed out 5,000 flyers.
Wow.
Put those flyers in everybody's bag. And this is just me. No team, no management, no sous chef, no help, nothing.
Were you levering social media then?
No. This, I think it wasn't that long ago, first of all. So I don't want to make y'all feel like it was MySpace era.
Okay.
It wasn't that old. This is maybe like 6-7 years ago. But anyway, I was just smart enough to understand, like, if I want to pack this place out, I need to leverage some stuff. So I asked the lady, I said, hey, as I'm the host, do you mind stuffing my flyers in those gift bags, like 5,000 plus people? And I had a great turnout.
Good.
First time ever they done a takeover at its location, Chef Todd English, MXDC, and it went crazy. From there, I kind of hung out in the DC market a little bit more, but I don't really recall working with too many chefs up there. That's the whole point of the story. I don't really recall.
Everybody got their own thing going on, you know. You got the big names here.
Chef JR Kitchen Cray, that's my man, Pots and Pans. Him and Chef Tomlin, Terrence Thomas, Chef Terrence Thomas was up there. I met him and maybe 2-3 other chefs, and that was really it. And there were so many chefs in DC area that I actually reached out to back then. Like, hey, let's collab. Hey, and it was, real vague and, a lot of cap. Cap wasn't word back then, but a lot of cap going on or whatever. But I never let that deter me. I just kept moving. Like, fuck it. I do it on my own. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see more chefs work together. And,
and that's one piece I can speak to. I will say, when I first started, there were other chefs out there, and now we call ourselves Chef Besties. Shout out to Chef KC and Gigi and all the wonderful chefs that I've met along the way. I will say, I can speak for the women, we stick together. It's no cattiness when it comes to us, because what I know, I want to share and help someone else. And I've mentored a lot of ladies and people in the industry, a lot of men now coming in, and I don't mind sharing the knowledge, because like I said before, there's a lot of money out here for all of us to eat. And if I recognize the talent in you and I like what I see when I look at your page, like you said, you have an eye for it, I have an eye for it. And I could tell, like when I look at someone's content, when I see how they move, their recipes, if they got it or not. And I won't waste my time if you don't.
Now, when that happens, do you invite these people to come cater with you? Or you just kind of like, how does it work?
So we collab on information. So like if I can't take an event, I may send it over to them. or they might share something with me about a grant for chefs that's coming out, or and let me just plug Samia right quick. Samia is also another business owner in the DMV area that is putting other chefs and mentoring the next generation, and the things you guys are doing with Magnolia University. That's great. We need that in the DMV area. I'm not going to say no names, but there was this one chef in particular when I was first like really doing this, and I went to her to ask her to be my mentor, and I did all the formal steps. I gave her my card. I sent her a follow-up email. I was professional, and she did not want to mentor me. And I think it's that crab in the bucket mentality with people sometimes, and they don't realize I'm not going to take anything away from you. If your talent is already strong enough on its own, I can't come in and duplicate your sauce, because you have your own thing over there. So what harm is it in taking someone else under your wing that's trying to get started? And you see they got potential, because I've ran into her now, and she sees me and I'm doing my thing. So obviously, but anyway.
Do y'all talk now? Do y'all, no, we want to hear it. Don't spill the tea, try to clean it up. Do y'all talk now? Y'all cool now? Or it's kind of all right?
She all right. I see her in passing. Hey, how you doing? We're going to keep it professional and keep it moving. That's it. That's all the words I got for you, because you didn't want to mentor me. But it's cool. To each his own. Yeah. To each his own,
Now, one thing that I am going to work on this year is putting together a type of a panel, like Chefprenur Academy presents type of a working panel, get people like yourself and other great chefs who want to share the information, who want to share the knowledge, who want to answer those questions. There's a lot of young chefs out there who don't know, and they're just they're winging it. You got a lot of what I like to call TikTok chefs, who are just spinning the wheel, and that's fine. But it's reaching a point now, like the money's not getting made.
Oh, it's fizzling out. COVID is, it's fizzling out. And they're now seeing who really has the real talent. The ones that are left standing are the ones that truly had the real talent.
Come on now. And I tell people all the time, I may not be the best chef, but you're not going to outwork me. And this is something that Will Smith said. I like using this analogy. If you put me on a treadmill beside the best chef, I bet you I won't start running. I bet you stop before I will. And that's just the vigor and the drive. It's just because it's quite natural to me to do it. Because like you said earlier, that whole military background, I've cooked in wartime conditions, okay? Bombs of a Baghdad type shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been in situations where we're out to sea for 4 or 5 months and we didn't have a fresh tomato, or we didn't have this. So when I went to CHOP, it's like, how you prepare for CHOP? I'm like, man, listen, I grew up in the projects. My mom was drugs. There were nights where we didn't, my younger brother, we didn't know we were going to eat or not. Like, it was chopped every night in my kitchen. It was a chop basket every single night. So
we had our own hood chopped.
Right. But it taught me how to be innovative and be resourceful. And that's something that culinary school not going to teach you. It's something you're not going to learn anywhere else but in the game of life. And when I sit and tell people, and I don't brag, I'm a very humble person. I think I am. I'm a very humble person. I let the work speak for itself. I have 1,000 things going on. So I'm pretty sure some shit out there you haven't seen for Chef Pond. I didn't know I was even a part of, like Chefprenur Academy. This is me not cooking. This is me setting up for retirement. This is me. I'm working on a non-solicit proposal with Chefprenur Academy to pitch to the military, because there's a need in the military market. The food service market in the military is huge. And I tell chefs who are chefs, fixate your mind on this idea. This is an entire industry. This is called the food service industry. Hospitality is a part of this industry. Front of the house is a part of this industry. Management is a real big part of this industry. So I know chefs who chefed for 15, 16, 20 something years, and now they're F&B directors and they haven't been in the kitchen in 10 years. I never wanted to do that, but I did have goals. I wanted to be a sous chef. This when I was a line cook. Got in the military as a line cook at Todd Jury Bistro. I said, I want his job. And the next job up was being a sous chef. I worked my butt off, understood everything, by ordering. Small little restaurant, but I learned it and I got it and I mastered it. I said, the next thing I want to do, is want to become an executive chef. And it's just me just climbing the ladder of the industry, understand everything. And once I became an executive chef for a while, I said, I want to be an F&B director. Now, in my mind, I'm like, I worked for a lot of F&Bs before. I don't know what the fuck they be doing in the office all the time, but I want to do that now. I don't want to be in the kitchen no more. And I got my first F&B role, and it was wonderful. A lot of paperwork, a lot of organization, a lot of management, but I miss being in the kitchen sometimes. So I hop back in the kitchen. The point of the story is make sure you have goals, man. Track it and have goals. Know where you are today and know where you're trying to get to at the end of the day. Like, just cooking and cooking and cooking. I love chefs who love to cook. I look to hire those kind of people. Chefs who don't care about managing or being a boss in the kitchen. They just love food. They love hopping up in the morning and go to the market on Saturdays, which is not enough people like that. But I tell people, I'm not that kind of chef. I love food. But at this point in my career, just kind of where I'm at in my career. At this point in my career,
you're thinking about other things, retirement.
Yeah, like, all right, it's enough cooking. Like, all right, I cook with my eyes closed now. Like my passion, this is a confession before everybody. My passion for cooking has a sizzle, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, all right. And not because I don't love food, it's because I can do that with my eyes closed. And like, it's not a challenge anymore. The next challenge is, how can I take all this culinary information, turn it into a curriculum, turn it into a master course, turn it into a TV show, turn it into clothing, apparel, aprons, something that would outlast me. How do I do that? And after the last 5 years, I've become fixated on that. And I think for some chefs, sometimes I push my passion off them. I ain't want to keep cooking. I'm like, all right, cool. So I challenge all y'all that's gonna watch this, man.
You can put your passion on me anytime. I'm with it. Because I'm working on my merch too. I got some trademarks and things, and chefing it up. It's coming.
I know that's right.
I got grocery store tote bags, aprons. I'm working on it.
Any seasonings, spices?
I'm not really into the seasonings. I'm not really into that. That's not what's calling me. Mine is more so luxury kitchenware.
What about mixers, crock pots, pans, skillets?
Maybe one day. I'm not going to ever say never. But right now, it's a certain feel and aesthetics that I like when I walk into a kitchen. And those are the type of products that I want to produce. So that's what I'm working on.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Chef Jay in the building. Anything else you want to say to the up-and-coming chefs out there that's going to watch this show, that's watching you, that's now following you? Any piece of advice you want to give them on a positive note?
I'll just say, once God plants that seed in your heart, that seed, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Keep going. Despite what people say, keep moving forward. Don't give up on your dream, because if you follow through with it, consistency, you may not land nowhere after shooting the first video, but keep going. Do another video and another video and another video. One of those videos gonna go viral, so keep at it. Consistency is really, really the key, and don't let anybody deter you from your dream. Church. Yeah, and I just want to thank you too, Chef Jay Ponder. Thank you for being an inspiration and a mentor in this field. Your energy that you bring when I first met you, thank you, because that's needed in the culinary world.
Listen, I appreciate it. And, I'm not even going to lie. Sometimes I have to get off of social media. Only because one or two things that happen. And I have a lot of chef followers, and I follow a lot of chefs, whatever the case is. I'll be scrolling and I see certain chefs, and I'm happy for everybody. So let me just get it out the way. I'm happy for everybody. Like sometimes, like for your stuff, I got excited like it was my shit. And it's kind of like my half a lot of shit. Like, oh my God, he's killing it. You know what I'm saying? I get hyped.
I appreciate that. I gotta get on you. I gotta get like you though with the ads. You be on them ads.
What you talking about? Oh, on the stories?
It'd be like mini commercials for your events that you got coming up. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna have to get a ticket.
And because I have a minor in marketing too. Nobody knows that. I have a minor in marketing. But somebody said one time, like, you talking to me, you post a lot. I said, yeah, because every 2 or 3 days, I gain another 122 followers who haven't seen it yet. So stop watching it. You don't want to just stop watching my shit. But these new followers, they haven't seen it yet. So it's old to you, or it's overkill to you. But to these new people who I watch on my thing logging in, I can see, okay, I got 100 new followers today. Repost the same content. And it's getting to the point now, Chef, that I have so much content that I literally could post for probably 2 months straight every day without shooting anything. And people always asking, like, where you at? Where you? I said, I'm at home. I'm at home. Or they're like, man, you busy? I said, no, I'm not. I haven't did shit in 3 weeks. I've been sitting around the house 3 weeks. But my social media, it look like this dude, he's doing everything. And that's part of the grand illusion, I think, that every chef should to grab onto, because there are slow periods in our industry now. Yeah, it does get slow.
It definitely is. And I'll tell people, you have to create your own hype. It's not about who else is posting you. It's not about what platform you on, what network you on, what podcast, what news station you on. It's about you creating your own hype. That's what I'd say. So I'm the shit, to myself, and then I'm gonna advertise myself as such. I don't care if I get 5 viewers watching the live. Like, I'm a cook. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna create my own hype.
There you go. Keep going. Chef, you heard it from her first. Keep going. Stay prosperous. Stay focused. This food looks freaking amazing.
Thank you.
This looks amazing.
I shot most of those photos for my website.
This is crazy. Now, how do you feel about doing a live cooking demo? Are you comfortable to do a live cooking demo before audience?
Oh, yeah. I do those all the time. My sorority books me to do live cooking demos for them. I'm doing one for Delta Sigma Theta in May. So yes, I do cooking demos, and we're doing a kids charcuterie workshop coming up.
Come on with the babies. Come on with the babies. Now, I'm gonna circle back sometime next week and hit you up, because I have a idea for the DC area that I want to bring to fruition. So I'll be working with you a little bit here in the next couple of weeks to see if you got the availability to come on board with it. But I'm super excited about it, and I want to keep it low key for now. But big things popping. Thank you again so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you. Keep doing great things, Chef.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Don't stop, man. Don't stop. Don't get deterred. Don't get discouraged. Keep going.
Thank you so much.
Now,
thank you.
Next week, we're going to have personal chef veteran, Chef Scott. Chef Scotty is from Georgia. Like myself, he's native to Georgia. He's also a veteran on here. Every Tuesday at 6:30, I'm going to bring y'all some really dope chefs. Some you heard of, some you may have never heard of until they got on the show. But it's a great thing. But all these chefs are holding it down in their perspective. And those who are watching, notice the theme, the energy of the chefs. Great energy, very positive. They're not like these Scrooges you see on these movies with chefs all angry and mad. Nobody's mad. You know what I'm saying? Watch their demeanor and how they act on the live. That's them in real life. Yeah. Everybody bring on the show, I met them in real life. I know them. I'm not out searching for random ass people to come on the show. Yeah. I know y'all. And what makes it so cool is this is just a conversation. I can just call you and talk like this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we can talk anytime for hours.
Come
on, give me a call.
Same way.
I love you.
Chef Trigay, homegirl. I can hit her up right now. Chef, anybody having the show so far? Conversation, easy.
And that's how it should be. It should be. Yeah. It should be a phone a friend anytime to get information, and talk and collaborate.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Queen. Thank you again. Keep doing great things. If you guys don't know, go follow her. Go to her website, Soulful. I'll put it up for you.
www.soulfulcatering.com.
Look at the food. Man. Soulful Catering. Chef J. Go book right now. Tell them where you are again. What area are you in again?
We cater to the whole DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia, but I also will travel, so still send your request.
Fly out.
Link in my bio. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube.
How your TikTok doing?
TikTok is It's good, but I'm not as passionate about TikTok like I am IG. Everybody has their favorite platform. TikTok is not really my favorite, but I do get on there when I'm looking for like reviews on different places. I'll use it as a search engine.
Okay. Now, my TikTok started off as a food situation, but I also teach. I love history, and I teach history too. So now it looks like a whole history page versus it's some food scattered on there.
Yeah.
TikTok is weird, and I don't have the pace to keep up TikTok. Like,
some people can manage TikTok, some can't. It's not my thing.
Here's the clue. Somebody told me you have to start scheduling content days, meaning let's say Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. All you do is create content that Saturday. If you create, say, 6 pieces of content and you drop a piece every week, you just created a month and a half with the content because you're dropping it once a week. I was like, damn, I thought about that. But yeah, don't try to create it the day of, and that's too much. Designate one day of the week. You're not bothered for like a 6-hour period, and all you're doing is creating content. Like for you, for example, if you went into the studio or kitchen space and you blocked off a regular work day, an 8-hour work day, and you went in that motherfucker for 8 hours and you shot for 8 hours, you would come out of there with so much content.
Very true.
You probably have a whole season episode of content.
That's what me and my content manager, we do. We just had a shoot day on Friday and we cranked out like 3 recipes. So,
look at that. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I understand. I understand completely.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, Chef, I'll catch you in the kitchen or catch you somewhere. I'm pretty sure. Go follow her. She's doing big things. If you guys not heard of her, she's in the building. DMV. Rock with it. What's DMV? 202 area code?
202. I still got my 571, VA. I still got that.
DMV area all the way up to PG County, to Alexander, to Richmond.
Yep. My parents live in Richmond, so I'm always in Richmond.
Tri-state area. Lock in with Chef, man. Chef, we appreciate you so much. Thank you again
for having me.
No problem at all. Have an amazing week. Go follow us. Keep us posted. Chef, thank you so much. Hey, man. There we have it. Chefprenur Academy. If you're not following us, follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Shoot me an email if you want to do a one-on-one conversation with Chef Ponder if you're a chef in the industry, or tag a chef. Tag somebody in the industry man. Like, let's talk. Let's build. I'm all for it. The new website is going to be launching here soon, so look out for that. Opportunities to book me for a one-on-one session, for mentorship, for coaching, all that's available. Okay, reach out. Let me put my email up here real quick because I want you guys to have the right information in case you watch this later. Shoot me an email. Let's set something up. Every Tuesday, next Tuesday, we're going to be linking up with Chef Scotty. He's going to be in the building. I'm excited about that. He's a veteran entrepreneur. I'm working on a whole other lineup for the month of May. Whole other lineup with some great chefs as well. So stay tapped in, man. Stay tuned. Chefprenur Academy. Chef Ponder in the building. Shouts to Chef Jay, man. Phenomenal chef. Go follow her. Chefprenur Academy. See you guys again next Tuesday. Peace.
People always ask me like, okay, what do you do for a living? And my response is literally, I'm an entrepreneur in the food media space, right? So I thrive on building ecosystems that make people feel comfortable around food, and I monetize each level of those particular ecosystems, right? So I don't look at myself and go, I'm in the food service industry. I look at myself as a social media influencer who's built an ecosystem and has monetized that ecosystem.